Yeah, welcome back to the firehouse for some more firehouse reasoning. Call this reasoning an end of year reasoning. And before I get into this end of year reasoning, I would once again like to thank what I call my only helper, if you know what I mean. All the videos that I made this year and the year before was with the help of my cameraman, Mr. Marius, who no one sees, but he's always sitting there behind the camera, if you know what I mean. And he's the one that do the videoing, he's the one that do the uploading, and he's the one that I say pay for me to be on the internet to be talking to anyone, if you know what I mean. So I would like to say a special thanks to my helper, Mr. Marius. And would also like to add that Mr. Marius is doing this for the sake of what is right and correct. Just like I myself is sitting in front of the camera for the sake of what is right and correct. It's not a matter of anyone paying anyone, you know what I mean? I cannot pay him to be my cameraman. He volunteers his effort freely, like how I volunteer my time freely to spit the fire. Anyway, as an end of year reason, I say, you know, roughly see where we are in the world as it was now, in today, 2015. From a personal point of view, reviewing life on earth, I would say that I don't know how long humans have been living on earth. You know what I mean? But in life, we should learn from our mistake. Now, human beings have been making mistakes for hundreds and thousands of years. And they still haven't learned, if you know what I mean. So, I don't know what it is. Well, I know why humans don't learn. Because at any given time in human history, the majority are always negative. You know, because we have a choice between the positive and the negative. You see what I mean? But the majority always choose the negative. I say because the negative have a way of rewarding people immediately then. If you know what I mean. For instance, if I just take my stick and smash you over the head, I can rob you a nice watch, you know, your wallet straight away. When if I refrain from doing that then, it's as if people cannot see the benefit in not doing that then. When there is a benefit for choosing not to behave in such what I call not human, a human way, but a hue animal. You understand? When I say hue animal, you have to understand that we have two natures then, as it was. Positive or negative. We can either rise or fall. So when we are rising, we are, you know, aspiring to be a human being. But when we are falling, we are hue animals, acting below the level of animals, really. Because animals just act instinctively. You know what I mean? But we don't have to. We can decide if this is so or so, if you know what I mean. So when a human being, well, not a human, when the human animal choose negativity, they become hue animals. When they learn how to be positive, they become human beings. So like I'm saying now, these humans have been on the planet, I don't know how long I say, and have been making mistake for years and years and years, and as far as I can see, well, the mistake is still here. Hence why you have like I tell you, there's only one nation of people on earth, human beings. But they have many different different groups. Tribalism, I call it, you know, international tribalism. So tribalism still rule planet Earth then, you know. A backward way of living, you know, in a tribal way. Because tribes tend to fight against other tribe. and then the biggest tribe dominate. You know? So those, like I say, these tribes now, like the American and the Russian, the Chinese, British, and you know, those with the most amount of weaponry dominate and rule and war amongst themselves. You see what I mean? A senseless behavior, but it cannot be seen how senseless it is until one has, put it this way, come out of the dark then and into the light. And coming out of the dark, we all have to start life off in the dark. You know what I mean? So I'm not condemning anyone for being in the dark, because I was in the dark once. When I say in the dark is where we are behaving in a way that we shouldn't be behaving then, doing what is wrong. But when we are doing what is wrong, we know that that it is wrong. We just choose to do it because maybe it satisfies us, whatever it is. But we know it's wrong. So when we are behaving like that, that is negative behavior. Negative behavior keeps us in the dark. You understand? So when we learn, and the only way for one to come out of the dark is to understand that this behavior is not right and change. If you change, you come out of the dark. Once you are out of the dark, you are able to understand both the light and the dark. You see what I mean? Or if you want to put it in a simpler way, God and the devil. You see what I mean? Those energies are within us. And you'll be able to understand life more clearly, like I say, and understand the play of what is going on in life. You see what I mean? But you have to, like I say, come out of darkness to do this. I mean, right now, they're going to be, there is anyway, like a lot of racism breaking out all throughout Europe here now, caused by a lot of what they call immigrants coming in. But what is the reason for this great rush of human beings running from all direction, from Iraq, from Syria, from Libya, from Afghanistan? What is the reason why they are running to Europe? No one wants to examine that. Well, the root of it, I say, really started when the Americans claim that 19 hijackers, these must have been very skillful hijackers, like they went to 4 different airports and on the same day hijacked 4 different planes successfully, taking over cockpit, everything, fly them into 2 buildings in America that collapsed perfectly well. And ever since that, they've been having the war on terror. So they went over there and they bomb out Saddam Hussein, they bomb out Gaddafi. So, I mean, when Gaddafi and Saddam was in power, I never see anyone running through their country to Europe, did you? But of course, now they have to. Because America and their friends have gone there and bombed them out under false pretense, having this war on terror. When really, because the planet, negative soul are only interested in money, power and control. So their main desire then is money. And what make more money than war? Well, to the soul that is lost in darkness, there is nothing better at making money than war. Because when there's war and strife going on, there is always a lot of money to be made. You know what I mean? So those who rule and control planet Earth then, as an example, don't want any peace, because peace is no good for business, because they're in business. You see what I mean? Business is all about making money, and the only way for you to have money is to have constant trouble going on. You see what I mean? But you can do that as well if you've got the people divided. And they have the people of earth divided, because the people of earth cannot see themselves as one. You see what I mean? They actually believe, like their tribal leaders tell them, that they are different people. You understand? So, and when you are in darkness, like I say now, certain things, like not certain things, nothing you can see in the dark. Somebody who is in the light will have to explain it to you. So you wouldn't be in the dark. They don't understand this. As an example, a human being, yeah, is both physical and non-physical. Our physical body, this is what we are appearing, is like a motor vehicle that we're driving. So the body itself is not the person. The person is within the body. You see what I mean? So when you think that a man that you see is white is a white man or a black man or a China man, you are just observing the body of the being. The being is within the body. I'm not saying that the being knows this either, you know, because the being has been fully brainwashed by ignorance. You see what I mean? I'm on about someone who has resurrected their, what I would call, common sense, so that you can observe the truth for what it is. You see what I mean? So the real truth, when you wake up and you observe it, that's where oneness comes in now, that we are one. We are not one because we are the same physical body, or our body look the same, or black or all white, or even the fact that we might come from the same mother. You see, that's not where we are one. We are one spiritually within. That means, like I say, if you go to anyone, white, black, doesn't matter who, say to them, what color is your mind? You draw a puzzle that no one can answer, because the spirit is like the air, you know. That's why the spirit draw fresh air. It looks like, that's what it eats. That's what it look like, colorless. You see what I mean? So when somebody, no wonder, like I say, that's why we've never solved the riddle or the problem of life on earth. You see what I mean? Because the people has not corrected their mistake that they keep making. So maybe I say today you are a racist. Tomorrow you don't realize that being a racist is wrong. You carry on, so you can't learn. It's alright if you was racist and then realize that, you know, it is totally ignorant and stupid, and you know, but you have to find that out for yourself. You see, and then when you do, you let go of the idea. You see what I mean? That's how we learn and grow. But collectively, humans have not learned and grow. You know, they've always been individual, yes, of course, throughout, because the darkness cannot extinguish the light. If you know what I mean. So even though it is in the majority, and has always been in the majority, it cannot extinguish the light. You see what I mean? You have to extinguish all man to do that, because the light is within man. No matter how dark the majority want to be, you know what I mean? There will always be individuals who are not following the herd. You see what I mean? Those, I say, who don't need a shepherd to guide them, because they are not sheeples, they are people. You understand? But the great majority always want a shepherd. So they will imagine or dream up all kind of idols, I call them, that they claim God sent, from Jesus Christ to the Archangel Gabriel to Joseph, Moses, Abraham. I don't know how many false idols. they will dream up. But all these dreams and fancy, I say, are for those people who have not yet made correction to the way that they are living in life. I am not the one who set the laws of life, but I understand them still. And the laws of life is, as long as you are intentionally doing negativity, your eyes will remain blind. It doesn't matter how knowledgeable you are. You see, because when your spiritual eyes are closed, you can learn as much knowledge as you want. Because you don't have to be a moral being to be a knowledgeable one. You see what I mean? You have to be a moral being to be a wise one, though. A difference there. You see what I mean? So we have enough knowledgeable people with great titles behind their name. Doctorate and whatever university give them. Yesterday and what they call it, YouTube there. One post was I read there was saying how much more IQ white people have than black people. This is what I mean. This is what when people are caught in ignorance. So that soul don't really understand, like I would tell them that there is no black and white people. You know what I mean? And that IQ have nothing to do with intelligence. Intelligence, as a matter of fact, then I shouldn't say IQ have nothing to do with intelligence. It has, but outintelligence, not the in one. Outintelligence is like, say, you were studying science and chemistry and motor mechanic and all kind of those what I call knowledgeable thing. Then IQ would be of some use to you there, and you can crack up that, because that is intelligence. But to have intelligence, the only way any human being can have intelligence is when they learn how to live a disciplined life and get themselves from out of the dark. Otherwise, you cannot have intelligence. If you know what I mean. You are out-intelligent. Because everything in life is left and a right, a in and a out. So it's the same thing with these principles, like intelligence or, riches. Say a man was rich. You have many people who are materially rich. I have a couple billion or trillion, I don't know. Family well rich. But then you have a richness then that is contained on one memory. The deeds that one have done here and how one has lived. You see what I mean? Now if anyone look at you, they can't see that richness. But when I look at the man who is rich outside, I can see his richness. But I know one thing. Whenever that come from him, whatever he possess out there, he will have to leave that here. But whatever I have in here will be going with me. You see what I mean? So it depends how you see richness and what you think richness is. If you know what I mean. So a lot of people are still confused, like I say, in their boxes, in their nationalistic boxes, and in their race boxes, in whatever boxes. So they are not able to understand the full play of life then, if you know what I mean. You see what I mean? It's like another conversation I was having up there now. Well, I know, I say all organized religion, from Islam to Christianity, is just ignorance, organized in the dark. But somebody was saying, the Muslims are going to take over the world, and, irrational talk like that. Now, how can Muslims take over the world? How many atomic bombs have they got? All the airplanes that a Muslim country have, I'm sure Europe sell it to them. second-rate ones as well, and the bombs. You know what I mean? So, what chance have they got now of taking over the world? Yeah? I'm sure they never start World War One that kill millions, I say, or World War Two that kill millions more. And if World War Three kick off, it won't be them who start it either. They just haven't got the power. If you see what I mean. So people want to, instead of you letting the ruling elite, that's what it is, the ruling elite, who has devised religion to keep your mind in ignorance. So that while you are arguing about me being a Muslim, me being a Christian, me being a Hindu, me being a Rasta, they can carry on ruling over you. You understand? It's like as an example. Because, you know, sometimes I myself might even use the word and say, oh, white man put black man into slavery. But let's clarify that down, refine that down a little bit. When I say white man put black man in slavery, I wouldn't be saying that all white men were responsible for putting black man into slavery. Because obviously in the days of slavery, like I've said before, in places like England here, a white man themselves, what they call the pheasants, didn't even have a goddamn vote. Life expectancy was long, living in great poverty and suffering. People like that never had time to put any black people in slavery. It was the few rich and elite, the same elite that is still ruling over you today. You see what I mean? And that elite that is ruling don't care whether you are pink, green or blue. You see what I mean? You are the one who they set play the race card on. You see what I mean? We are the ones then. So while we are arguing about who is better and who is this and who is that, they can rule over us and continue the rule. That's why nothing has ever changed on earth. Because the negative energy has always been able to retain power. You see what I mean? And who do you think give the negative energy the power? You same human beings, you vote for them, the rich and elite. You only choose rich and elite people as your leaders, innit? Say, look in America there, only rich and elite people can be president. I have a woman here now, Mrs. Clinton, I think she's running. The woman should have been goddamn retired long time. Old woman, old Kerry, all these old men are deciding what's happening in the world when they should have been retired. Like racers put out to grass or something, eat grass. You see what I mean? But these are your leaders. Millionaire, billionaire, who have no conception of what it is to be a poor person living in a poor situation. They are the one who put you in the poor situation in the first place, because this planet provides everything for every being on it to be rich, living a healthy, happy life, because God provides for all. You let a few, like I tell you, elitist criminals, you see what I mean, who devise and organize religion for you. And you follow that and argue with your brother about which religion is better and which religion isn't better. And even within the religion, I wouldn't mind, like I say, if these religions were one. They're divided into fragments within themselves. So Islam is a 73 different sect, Christianity, a lot more. Those who are calling themselves Rasta, same thing, a lot more little sect. You know, Naya Bingi 12 tribe and all this kind of business. You see what I mean? But the beings themselves can never see themselves as one. Because the creative energy that we call God never create division, just oneness. You see, it was the men in the dark, those who went away from the light, that create this idea of race and separation amongst the earth. The planet is one. It is not many different countries like you are trying to slice it up and divide it up, you know, and making borders and things, you know what I mean? But like I'm telling you, when people are not You might as well call it backward. When you're not developed, when you've descended, when you keep on descending down into negativity, all that you can do down there is act ignorant. You see, so if you say watch the government of the world and everything, how they behave, it's pure ignorance. I hear the Americans saying, as an example, there's a protest going on in Turkey now, round in the Kurdish area. Why don't the American government arm those protesters like they was willing to arm those who was protesting in Syria against the Assad government? You see what I mean? Arm them so much they claim that they was moderate rebels, yeah? And giving them all manner of weapons, as if these weapons that they was giving was killing people inside of Syria. You see what I mean? Now Russia come in. You never see. Russia have a coalition, America got one, Saudi Arabia got one. All over this one thing in Russia now. So now they say they want to fight ISIL, but the Americans are saying, yeah, but we want to get rid of Assad as well, you know. And at the same time, arming what they call moderate rebels. But why are you behaving like that if you was what you would call a civilized human being? Of course, you wouldn't be putting no arms into someone else's country, arming anyone to fire any gun against any government. Better, like you say, you try a sanction then, if that was the case. But to encourage other people to be fighting and, you know, bombing and, you know, this is not right and correct, you know. And it's funny how the American and the British and the French, they have all this sophisticated camera and things, surveillance. And until the Russian went in and showed what Turkey was doing, stealing oil from both Syria and Iraq, they never noticed. So it looked like it was part of their plan as well, to support these criminals in their criminal activity against a government, if you know what I mean. So you can see these people are utterly crazy. Well, it looks crazy, you know, but in their own mind, it's a money spinner. Because the people who are making the money out of this is not involved in any war. They're sitting back in America, or here in Britain, or in Europe. The fat cats who is rolling in, you know. Their factory are always spitting out ammunition and guns and poison gas and, you know. So you see, the mentality of human being on the planet is actually quite sick. You see what I mean? I wouldn't mind if we the next planet near to us was a hostile planet with hostile beings. So we here on Earth then would have to get together to defend ourselves, creating all manner of weapons that we think might hold these other beings from attacking and destroying planet Earth in its natural beauty. But there is no other beings here apart from those one, the human race. And here you have the human race has been fighting against itself from I don't know when. And some of what they would call the best brains have never been able to work out that man is one, and has been been able to speak it powerfully and prove it within reason. Why the being is one? Full of shit being. Yeah, you know what I mean? So why is that? What have they been focused on? They've been focused on exploitation of the earth and its resources and the people of the earth as well. And once you are focused on that, like I'm saying, excuse that. Oh, that liquid drink. Yeah, once you are focused on that form of negative behavior, I say exploiting earth and its resources and the people thereof and negativity, it means, like I say then, here, this is how it goes then, I say. The physical body have eyes to see out into the physical world. The spirit within have internal eyes. But these eyes, like I say over and over, are like puppies. They remain closed. They can only be open when we ourselves decide to change our own negative way. When these eyes are open, the oneness of our life will be revealed to you. There will no longer be any puzzle about what man call God then. God is literally a word that is trying to indicate to beings that there is a higher intelligence than man himself. And that higher intelligence that is higher than man himself, or woman, is within man and woman. They feel it, but they don't know what it is. But as a 9th grade general, of course, because I say I'm a bad fire, I know what it is. Don't believe what it is, you know. I know what it is, the one himself. Yeah. That is the what man would call God then. My direct teacher. That's God. It's not. So we could say as an example then, God is not a male or a female, but God dwells both within the male and the female. A similar movement like how the sun gives light to the whole planet Earth. You see what I mean? But he's not a male or a female, but both males and females is drawing the energy from the sun. Same place going on within. The giver of the light within is neither a male or a female, but we beings, male and female, can draw guidance from that one that is within, the one that we call God. Not what what they organize for you in religion and tell you about a God up in heaven. You know, no God is up in heaven, God is right here. So anyone who knows that God is here, knows, like I say, don't believe it, you know that God cannot send any prophet and has never sent any prophet. Those are the utterance of those who went away from the light of God and end up in darkness and have maintained the state of the earth the way it is, still is in today. War and chaos and confusion. Fight constantly. Why? Only one reason. Because of the choices that man has made himself. Because here on planet Earth, like I tell you, we have the freedom to choose. Be that positive or negative. So those people in darkness there, I say, they can't know God because they went away from the light, they end up have to believe in God. And they cannot know the great one that they refer to as Satan either. See what I mean? Because they are in the darkness. To understand the light and the dark, you have to come out of the dark and enter the light so that you can overcome both. See what I mean? So when you come out of the dark and enter the light, you will be able to understand Satan, the negative energy that is within all being who has ever come out of woman. From whatever time they come out of woman, this negative one has always been within them, presenting temptation to the mind, because that one is the tester of all who come here, the master within. You see what I mean? It put bad thoughts into any being mind. You could be a 10th grade general. Doesn't matter about that. This one is there to present temptation to the mind. But those who don't know Satan now, they are the one who make up story about, there was a war in heaven between God and the devil, and God showed the devil and all this whole heap of bullshit and But the light and the dark is not at war. This is what you need to understand. The original principle in creation is darkness. Phantom that with your mind. That before there was any light, everything was in complete darkness, and then the light arises from out of the dark. Like a baby giving birth, like how a baby come out of a mother. So darkness gives birth to the light. You see what I mean? But the light now only reveal what is in the dark. Because darkness is contained within creation. You see what I mean? So God is both the light and the dark. That's why God can be known and God cannot be known. You see what I mean? So even me as a bad general, I say, who knows the one? I don't know the one. Because the one cannot be known in the one entirety then. Have you see what I mean? The one is always known as well as unknown. You see what I mean? So I don't know where some people get the idea from that this one is some man or some woman and that, you know. These lunatics that I say that went away from themselves place God now up in heaven like a human being, you know, sitting there in his court with his son and all this kind of thing. But no. God is an energy that is everywhere at once, instantly. Just like the devil. The one that you fear so much. But don't be fearing Satan, you know what I mean, or anything like that. Because if you fear Satan, you won't be able to understand life. And you won't be able to understand that there is consequences to action and that we should take responsibility for our action. That we are living in life then, you know. We have to take responsibility for the things that we do and how we do these things. You see what I mean? Because there is a purpose and a reason in life. Like I say, if your eyes are not open, you're not going to understand certain things. But let's say take it your eyes open then. You will realize that we are spirit. Because we are spirit, we cannot age, we cannot die. You know? We can't get old. What is getting old? We are two, like I say, we are spirit and physical. The physical is living in time and is subject to change. Whatever is subject to change will eventually die. So the body will wither and eventually die. The spirit within the body is not subject to the laws of change. So it doesn't matter how old one's getting on. One still feel the same as 17, 18, or whatever young age you want to latch on to. You know? But you can't get old. The spirit can't get old. Now because the spirit is not subject to the laws of change, when they bring change to the body, it doesn't affect the spirit. Because the spirit is not living in that dimension where time is operating in them. If you know what. Yeah, man. Just think of it as water in a bottle. The water is not the same as the bottle, is it? So it is with the spirit. The spirit and the body is not the same. They are just contained within the same location then, you know. But they are actually two different things operating under, under two different laws. The only thing I say that I can see that a human could take away from planet Earth, because you can't take anything materially. But an account is always made of the things that you are doing. That's why we have a memory. It's an internal video recorder that video how you behave here. Gathering evidence as it was done. Because like we say, there is consequences to action. You see what I mean? So there's a lot of people that do things then and are continue to do things to live what they call the good life. And they are taking, paying no attention to the consequences of their own action then. So maybe it might come as a surprise to them that memory was actually making account of what they was doing here. And that when they fuck them up, like I say, memory will be going with them. That won't be going in the grave. Yeah? Your brain might be going in the graves, or man might take your brain out. But trust me, while you're living here now, you can never find your memory. You know why? Just like if a man cut my body looking for me, how is he going to see me? Because I'm not physical, I'm a spirit in the body. The spirit is not a physical thing. You know, like how some religious people like to harp on sometime and say, oh, God is a spirit. Yeah, God is a spirit, but so am I. I am a spark of that eternal first spark spirit. So we are all spirits. You see, not only God alone is a spirit, we are a spirit. So we are here as spirit, then, like I say, to make a choice. The choice is between positive and negative, you know what I mean? Good and bad, you know? So what we see and what we understand depends on the choice that we make then, you know? You see? Like I say, people are doing bad because bad reward them then. As an example then, I choose to do good because I love good. Not because I'm looking for any reward of God or anything, but just because I love what is right. Like I say, just like how a man would imagine to himself that he is in love with a woman, you know, and he would adore and worship her, go on and way with himself. I feel more than that about truth. Yeah, man, I am madly in love with truth, but not for no particular reason, just because I love truth. You see what I mean? So if when you love something, that's what you pay attention to. Now if you love truth, you can't be loving hate then, as an example, you know, and greed, and, you know, jealousy and spite, and, you know, because truth, those things are not truthful and honest and sincere, you know. Those, you have to love things that are honest and truthful and sincere, you know. You can't love truth and, as an example, say being a racist, where you're going to hate what we would call white people then, or black people or whatever. Me personally, the way I see it, I say, I don't care who hit me on my head, whether it is what you call a white man or a black man. Pain is pain, and I don't like pain, so I don't want no man hit me on my head with a hammer. You see, man? It's not against this man, you know. If a man come from China and the man is alright, the man is my friend. If him is not alright, well, let him stay here in his, you know. If him don't care where him come from, so I just deal with man as man. Because all man is my brother still, you know. They don't know that I am their brother, you know, but that is irrelevant, innit? Because if your eyes are not open yet, you wouldn't be able to see this. And I don't expect a blind man to see. You see what I mean? It's like, even on the, I did a video there in Manchester for Rasta v Islam. And enough people are commenting about my teeth, you know. Say, oh, your teeth, and you should go see dentist and blah, 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 and you're dirty and you're not wash, and I'm thinking, wait, did I ever sleep with any of these people for them to smell me? Am I kissing any of them for them to worry about my teeth? Whose mouth is it? Mine or yours? My mouth, so I can carry my mouth how I want. You know, see? And I choose to carry it. And the more it upset you human beings in the world, the more me love that blood clot. Me just leave my teeth just the same. Because I'm not paying no one any rent. You see what I mean? And like I say, when death come for me, which we're going on up in years now, you know, so it won't be long. And I won't be taking, so I'm not in a work, I won't be taking no teeth in it. Well, I say, those are just pettiness. You know, things like that don't offend me. And I'm used to, like I said, if I was in the street and a blind man bump into me, I'm not going to be offended. So I'm totally not offended. If I was going to take offense about people making comment about my teeth, I wouldn't be sitting in front of a blood clot camera, would I? I'd run away and go and hide, you see. But truth is more important than my blood clot. You don't care. You see what I mean? That's why I'm in front of the camera as a bad fire, without any fear of what any human being might think about teeth, man or woman, because I'm not doing anything to please man or woman. You see what I mean? I ain't doing anything to please anyone, you know. Or to displease them. I'm not doing anything to please them either. I am just doing what I'm doing. Just like when I'm speaking the truth. I always say I don't speak personal or come with any personal attack on anyone. I just speak the truth. Once I speak it, whether you want to like it or you don't like it, who cares? Because in that kind of a way, I am a man who, like I say, I'm both soft, but I'm hard as well. Cold-hearted, you know, and hard-hearted where the truth is concerned. Because in my life, the truth comes first. You see what I mean? And I'm not afraid to tell it to anyone. Could be my mother, like I say. Whether they want to be black, white, green, blue, all that is irrelevant when I'm delivering. Even if the beings had come from Mars and come here, all that would have been irrelevant when I'm delivering truth to them. You see what I mean? And I'm not taking side with them either, like I say, because we're all creation of the one creative energy. That's what I know, you know, that's not what I believe. I say we are one. So I have to teach oneness, not division and separation and racism, you know what I mean? Like people who like I said, we exchange on YouTube. And they bring in, say, a racist argument to me. You know, all that is pointless. I haven't got time for that. To get into no racist argument about black and white and we, you know. Cause a lot of conversation, like we might say, like I might mention Egypt. But that bring a great lot of controversy. Yesterday a man was telling me that I tell him that Egypt was not called Egypt before, it was called Kemet, where the Kemites live. The man tell me that in Egypt there was black, white and brown people, and it was the soil that was called Kemet. So people go through all kind of lengths in their own ignorance to deny that African people did anything significant on planet Earth then as it was. In their own mind they are convinced, I don't know who convinced it, it must be their history, that when the creative energy create the black man, the energy create the black man as a complete idiot then. So he could not have developed anything at all. So whatever you find in Africa there, other people come from where they live and went to Africa to build it. I don't know why when they leave back out to Africa, or why they never stay where they was and build it in their land. Couldn't they get the inspiration where they was? Or didn't they have the right size bricks? So they went down to Egypt to build up monuments or whatever there in Africa. You know what I mean? And then again, they can't take the truth like I'm saying, telling them these who belongs to organized religion, that they use organized religion to rule and control people. So when they develop the idea of Islam, they invade Africa with that. And they're still there, they capture the whole of North Africa. They don't call themselves Africa, call themselves Algerian, Moroccan, Libyan, Sudanese, and like I say, Egyptian. Give you the impression that these people are not even in Africa, but they are. But they never originally come from Africa. They are outsiders, invaders. Their ancestry goes back to the days when their ancestor come in as invaders and ethnically cleanse that part of Africa. Ethnic cleansing. Ethnic cleansing has not just been going on now, it has been going on a lot. But if you ever speak these truth to people now, they're getting all uptight, but don't take it personal. It happened already, and you know what I mean? That's not the truth that we are here to tell human beings or what is going to get them out of their own ignorance. The real truth is that you should learn to choose positivity instead of negativity. Yeah? Because certain things you will not be able to understand them. Nothing at all, you will not be able to understand them until your eyes are open. You see what I mean? Because in darkness you have been fed brainwashing bullshit information. You see, so looking out of that them glasses that has been put on your eyes, you won't be able to see. Only your own common sense will allow you to rise and, like I said, resurrect your intelligence instead of relying on intelligence. You see what I mean? Those who are intelligent, like I say, especially those who can read. I can read a little bit of them, but I'm just saying, you know, book readers then, you know. They feel that they are very intelligent. Boy, you are that is intelligent. You could have read 1,000 books. That's not intelligent. There's only one way for you to be intelligent. And that's under the laws of self-discipline. Only a self-disciplined being can be intelligent. Then look at me then. I could test myself against any man who they deem to be intelligent. His IQ can be as about 9,000. I have half a billion IQ. And I have got no IQ. And I would still out reasoning and know things that he don't know. And can't know under his IQ as well. Well, he could know them still, you know. But he don't know them because he spent so long chasing IQ. Being intelligent, you know. And that's the reward in my IQ. So because now, this is why people don't learn, you know. I think they say we have 5 senses. I don't know we have none. But the simplest one of them. Don't know what all the senses are. Don't care. But the simplest one, the one that they call common sense. Because some of the senses, we don't possess them all. You know what I mean? Some people don't, like me, the only sense I possess, technically I would say, is common sense. The rest are beyond me. They don't operate in me like how they operate in other people. But those are the sense that don't operate in me are the sense that people love and love to chase. You know, scientific sense, whatever. All the senses that they think will rise them up then and make them somebody. And they ignore common sense. But guess what? Common sense is the key to intelligence. Those other senses are just intelligent senses. They don't concentrate on the in. But common sense does. You see what I mean? Because common sense is going to teach you to behave right. You see what I mean? Because behaving right is a process of learning. You know what I mean? It's a way of doing things that it's like planting a seed. It must grow and it produces fruits that you can eat and you can benefit from. You know? So when you do the right thing, it grows intelligence. You see what I mean? That doesn't mean now, you know, that intelligence is of no good. It is. But you need intelligence to balance intelligence. If you just have intelligence, you become imbalanced. You see what I mean? But if you have intelligence, you can't become imbalanced. Because you always know how to behave, how to act as a human being. But without intelligence alone, you are just still on the human level. Mentally, you have not arisen from out of the dark. You are beginning to come out of the dark when you can understand the oneness. One universe, one planet Earth. On planet Earth, you have one race of people living, human beings. Within those human beings, you have the one spirit that watch them all. That's what we call God. But for many to the better, we say conscience, the one within that watch it all. Because no being can hide from themselves. You see what I mean? So the whole of creation then is contained in oneness. Not separation and division and war and bombs and you see what I mean? So when a man leaves, when I say a man, I mean a woman as well. Let's say a soul. When a soul leaves from out of darkness and enter the light, the days of killing, hating, greed, lust and all that finish. It's literally like if a baby was crawling and then learned the art of walking. Once the baby discovered the joys of walking, trust me, there shall never be no more crawling. You see what I mean? So once a soul has come out of darkness, it never return or have any desire to return. In fact, it spent the rest of his life wondering how the fuck did he get caught up in that madness down here. You know, I can't believe it that it was so stupid when it comes to realization of the beauty and joys of life then when one has leave the dark and enter into the light. You see what I mean? Now see on earth here now. You will hear them, those who love to read books and things, you know, going on about great wise men. I don't know who Pluto, Socrates, I don't know who you can name as great wise men. And what these great wise men was teaching about. But anyhow, any man who is wise, he could have only been wise if the internal one teach him. You see what I mean? There is no superstar being here, you know. It's like a man will go and say about Aristotle and Plato or whatever. But guess what? The teachings of a ninth grade general is way above the head of Plato or Aristotle. It's only because you are focusing on what you deem to be great names. But the truth is not respecter of any name. You see what I mean? But I can tell you this, and it's not a brag either, you know, because I don't need to brag as a general. But I can tell you this, Plato or Aristotle never know the one. Because I've read some of their writings, and I never hear them say that. They couldn't have. There was not the ninth level to make such statement out of their mouth, because a soul can only talk about the things that they know about. And those who don't know just talk about what they hear about. You see what I mean? But as a general, I don't talk about what I hear about. Go about teaching anything that I hear. I bust them right out of my head because I know them myself. You understand? And I know who teach it to me as well. Because you have to learn from somewhere. You know? That's how learning goes, you know. You either have to go to school and learn from men. That is knowledge, I say, where we learn knowledge from now. Wisdom now, we learn it from the internal master. But this is what this is very hard now to understand because we are aware of the outside school because we can see them, but the internal one is not visible. Hence the fact why not a lot of people probably find the idea crazy then that we have a teacher there in the invisible. But life is visible and invisible. So you have to study both sides of it. Not just the visible, but the invisible as well. But like I'm saying, there ain't no studying of this life or grasping what it is until one has decided to cease the negative behavior that is going on within the dark. Otherwise, hearing me speak, you just think I'm speaking riddles instead of the plain truth. You know what I mean? So you have to come out. You have to be willing to come out of the dark. And when I say you have to be willing, I mean you have to reach a point in your life where you accept that the things that you are doing is not right and stop them. No, I don't have to say what these things are because no one is stupid. Everyone who is doing wrong know what it is that they are doing wrong. But like I say, they carry on because there's benefit in wrongdoing. Either it pays well, or it helps you to get on with friends, 15 as it goes on, you know. Whatever, you know. Be part of the crowd or the group, you know. But I am not going to do what is wrong to fit in with anyone at all, you know. I am not afraid if I have to be on my own, live on my own, you know. Die on my own as well as, you know. Because as long as I stick to what I know is right and correct myself, not what I learned, like I say, even though I will talk about my ancestors as well, but not what I learned from my ancestors, or what I have learned from any book, any organized religion. Excuse that. The reason why I say that I am a Rasta then, as an example, because I hear people about, oh yeah, Rasta is a religion. Rasta is not a religion. Because I never get initiated into Rasta. Rasta is a freedom to choose for yourself. So I am a free thinking Rasta man, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I will have to fire out rapidly and fire out because we seem to be running out of time as it was. So anyway, I is going to reel out, fade out and fire out. And fire out.